look dry. All right, there's your latest forecast. Jaciel, we'll send things over to you.
All right, Matt, thank you. Open enrollment for individual health insurance just started, and that means now is the time to shop for 2016 health plans. Here with some tips to finding a plan that works for you is John Pequeno, president of Ideal Concepts Incorporated. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Jaciel.
A lot of people in this area have Highmark Blue Cross as their plan, but for whatever reason, Highmark is getting rid of its most popular plans. Why is that, and what should people with those plans do?
They are, and it's really unfortunate. In fact, all of my employees at my company are affected, including myself. And Highmark underpriced their plan significantly for the last 2 years, and so they've been losing a lot of money on those, approximately 30%, $650 million in the first 6 months of this year. And so because of that, they've gotten rid of all of their competitive plans, leaving their much more expensive plans on the market that are approximately 50% higher cost. The good news is there's other options out there, including United Healthcare, Coventry, Aetna, and Capital Blue Cross, and so consumers should shop around to look at their options.
Okay. Now, at the initial rollout of healthcare.gov, it was kind of rocky. Are things going to be better this time around for people who are signing up through healthcare.gov?
They are, and I feel like every year they're getting a little bit better, and so I think this year is no exception. And so things have been pretty smooth this year so far. There's been a couple of down events, but for the most part, they've been doing pretty good.
You're in a unique spot as one of 3 companies in the entire country that has a private exchange that allows people not to go through healthcare.gov.
That's correct.
Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so that has been a big investment on our part. We've been working that for approximately 2 years, and that's with a contract that we have with healthcare.gov directly. Okay. And so our exchange allows you to bypass the whole healthcare.gov website and essentially cuts down the amount of time it takes to complete a full enrollment down to literally 5 minutes from getting a quote, choosing a plan, and completing the full enrollment compared to the approximately 1 hour it takes through healthcare.gov directly.
Now, I know people can get certain subsidies through healthcare.gov. If they bypass that, as you said, will they lose out on those subsidies?
They will not, and that's a common misconception. And so, in fact, somewhere between 75 and 85% of those people buying individual health actually qualify for a subsidy. And so they can go ahead and do that right through our private exchange at iWebQuotes as well.
So you're one of 3, as I said. Why aren't more companies going this private exchange route? Sounds like it's a lot faster.
It is. You know what? There's a lot more companies that have actually created a private exchange, but there's only 3 that have created a private exchange that bypasses the healthcare.gov portal. And the reason is because it's essentially complicated and expensive to launch, and so we're proud to be one of those 3 that have actually done it. Okay.
Now, let's go over some tips. You got some tips that people should keep in mind as they shop around. What are they, for example?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, make sure you consider all your options, not just your on-exchange options. And there's a lot of off-exchange options offered by health insurance carriers as well, and those are ACA compliant. And in some cases, those may be more competitive than the on-exchange counterparts. Okay. In addition, don't consider the cheapest health insurance to be your best option. Make sure that you're considering all the obvious things like deductible, out-of-pocket exposure, and some non-obvious things like networks. For example, the cheapest health insurance plans in this market, this open enrollment, don't have the most common hospitals in network, including St. Luke's, Lehigh Valley, or Easton. Okay. So make sure you're considering all those things.
So if it's cheap on the outside, it might not be cheap at the end.
You've got to kind of open it up. Everybody's trying to cut rates in some way, and so a lot of the ways they're doing that is by limiting who you can go to. And so, yeah, you've got to kind of look at all the details.
Okay. And then third, it says if you're healthy, buy a bronze plan.
Well, and so I'll say this. If you're healthy, consider buying a higher deductible plan, whether that be a bronze or a silver plan, and then pairing that with a supplemental plan like an accident or critical illness insurance plan. Doing that can actually save you a lot of money over the course of a year.
Okay. And final tip is?
If you're a small group or an employer, consider looking at individual. A lot of times individual plans are going to actually be cheaper than group insurance, and you might even be able to get your employees better coverage than they could with group insurance as well.
All right. And where can people find more information from you? Is it idealconcepts.com?
That's our company website. They can also go to iWebQuotes, which is actually our private exchange. That's iWebQuotes.com, or they can call us to talk to one of our thousands of brokers at 866-WWW-IWEB.
All right. A busy time for you, I can imagine.
It is.
All right. Well, good luck. Thank you so much, John.
Thank you very much, Jaciel.
All right. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.